Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
And welcome to the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe, the 1313 podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Tommy.
And this is the Star Wars podcast, of which we discuss Star Wars. I hope you're all doing well today. At home, it's January. If you live where we live, it's snowy. If you don't, it might also be snowy. Or hot. Who cares? This is the Star Wars podcast, not the Weather Channel.
And today we have a new episode of the Book of Boba Fett to discuss. But before we do that, we have a couple things that we would like to remind you of, as we do incessantly every single episode of the podcast. First and foremost, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, you should probably subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Because we will be giving away this Bad Batch Rex. Bad Batch Rex action figure at 500 subscribers. You heard it. 500 subscribers. So be sure to be subscribed to the 1313 podcast in order to win this amazing figure. We will be giving it away once we hit 500. After we hit 500, we'll let you know how we're giving it away. There will be a stream, a video, or whatever showing us pulling the name. And then whoever wins will get this figure. Wow. And maybe a piece of paper signed by my dog.
Why?
Because we all know what the fans really want.
Indeed. And additionally, if you have not yet joined our Discord, go join our Discord. You can find the link to our Discord in our link tree, which can be found on all of our social media pages. Join the Discord. We talk about a lot of cool stuff. We now have a channel on the Discord for Book of Boba spoilers. So if you have seen the new Book of Boba episode and you would like to talk about it, you can talk about it.
And not worry about fellas being like, I didn't see it yet because I had to work today.
And we have a really positive community too that reasonably shares their opinions. They're not inflammatory. And if they are, then we make them cease to exist in the Discord. So
that's right.
Just saying, we've never had to do it before.
But we will.
So, with all that aside, let us begin our discussion of this doozy of a Book of Boba Fett episode.
Quite literally a doozy. It was quite nice, wasn't it?
It was
an
amazing
episode. I'm going to come right out the gate. I gave this episode a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to come right out the gate. I gave this episode an 8.5 out of 10.
I don't have a rating for the episode because the show isn't over. Because why should we judge it episode by episode?
Damn, bro, that's crazy. That's dramatically fast.
So then here's the thing. Here's the main thing that I'm saying. Everybody is saying that episode 2 is a continuation of the pilot, in which was episode 1.
Yeah, that's probably what a TV show does.
Yes, that's the point that I'm trying to make. People will judge it episode by episode, and so by one episode, they'll say it will succeed or it will fail. This is essentially a movie production split up into sections for us. So I don't think it's, for me, I'm not going to judge it until it's all the way done. I love what I'm seeing right now.
Or,
because the Book of Boba isn't done yet.
All I'm saying is that when you read the book and you finish a chapter, you can say, wow, that chapter was good.
Yeah, I'll say that. It was good. I loved it.
Man, I thought that chapter was pretty slow. But I'm still excited for the next chapter. That's what people say too.
That's kind of facts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, but yeah, no, this episode had a lot to unpack. And I have a lot that I want to talk about. If you would like to see another conversation that we had, go check out our Have a Chat episode, which is on all platforms with Fig Fury. We did talk about that as well. Fig Fury, thank you for being on the show. We know you're watching right now.
Yeah.
And if you're not subscribed to Fig Fury, then you should probably do that.
Yeah.
He also has an Instagram with very high quality pictures.
Big Fury.
Yeah. Yeah.
League Lurie on Instagram.
Yeah.
You should do that too. Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this episode.
Please. I'm begging you.
Yeah. Anyway. So, the Book of Boba.
I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. The mother.
He was doing the link, yeah.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Both of you are cringe. Anyway.
Welcome to the 1313 Cringe Cast.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Okay.
Boba!
First and foremost, I really just, I want to get into the Tuskens. But let's put it all aside for a second.
Tommy's now like my favorite characters are the Tuskens.
Here's your daily episode of Tusken language.
Like riding a panther. I will stop the train be back by morning.
So the episode begins right where we left off on the first episode.
So Boba's in the Bacta once again.
No, that's not where this episode starts off, silly Billy. This episode starts off with them torturing or not torturing the assassin, the hired assassin, to find out who he works for. And then they drop him into the Rancor pit with no more Rancor.
They didn't love the Rancor because it didn't get funded.
I made that joke yesterday.
Alternate universe. If the Rancor would have gotten funded, we would have actually seen Mushi the Rancor.
In the Book of Boba.
Feel bad, Black Series collectors. You did this.
You suck.
Anyways, so I really don't remember the name of the assassins, and I remember when, on our Habit Chat we called them the Moon Pie Gang. So now I just want to call them the Moon Pie Gang.
Just do it.
Moon Pie Gang supremacy.
It was like the Order of the Night Wind or something like that.
Something weird, because I previously said that I thought that they were Crimson Dawn, but I guess that's completely wrong.
Crimson Bees.
I'm glad that they... Anyways, is there a draft in here? Did you hear that?
Stop.
Anyways.
So...
but no, the Order of the Night Wind, the Order of the Moon Pie Gang, they captured him, they interrogated him.
They're like, tell us who you work for. And he was like, I curse at you and Huttese. And they say, we feed you to the Rancor. And he's like, the mayor sent me. And they're like, got him.
His voice was so not intimidating. I expected an assassin's voice to be much more intimidating.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty funny. He was definitely very scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made him look like a fool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then they take him, we go to Mos Espa, back to the plot hole of Mos Espa.
The small town of Anakin Skywalker.
And then we get to see Pedro Pascal.
That wasn't Pedro Pascal.
Yes, it is. He's in the credits.
Is he really? Is that actually
Yes,
him?
that's Pedro Pascal.
I knew that. I was just making sure you
the
knew that.
The Ithorian, who's the mayor, is voiced by Pedro.
I knew that. I was making sure you guys knew.
He was in the trailer, and everybody thought that the Mandalorian was in the trailer for the show, but then when you go through it, he's the voice of the Ithorian.
It's the Ithorian.
Which is kind of interesting to see him in a different... Because his voice is so bland, too.
I really liked that Ithorian. He was a little bit hairy, though. He needs to shave.
Yeah. He's like,
he's a little bit fuzzy.
Thank you for capturing the Moon Pie Gang. And then they shot him on sight.
Okay, so...
They're not allowed to operate out of Hutt space. Okay. Which doesn't make sense because now the Hutts are back on Tatooine. So is it still Hutt space?
Tatooine is Hutt space.
But do you think, though...
Oh, no, wait, you're right. I see what you're saying.
But do you think, though, that the mayor actually did hire them?
Yeah.
And he's using the Hutts as a scapegoat? Because he wouldn't have killed him if it really wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
No, he would have killed him so he would not talk.
That's what I mean. No, I'm saying, like, if he didn't hire him, he probably wouldn't have been so quick to have him killed.
Yeah.
I was going to say...
I think he did hire him.
Yeah. Because what we saw from the first episode as well is that, like, the mayor's, like, underling, I guess I'll just call him for now, is that he was very uncomfortable with the fact that Boba Fett was like, you do know I'm in charge now, and I'm here. And he was like... The mayor knows.
Like,
sincere apologies and I forget the bureaucratic language he's using.
There's one more thing. The matter of tribute. I'm the crime lord. I thought he was supposed to pay tribute to me. I like how Boba Fett's just genuinely confused at most parts of the show.
Boba Fett is literally the reaction that I never thought I would see in Star Wars time and time again.
You want me to dig?
Cheeky little bugger. A lizard. A gift for me.
I shall use him to guide.
We could talk about that later.
But no, but I liked the Ithorian. I thought he was cool, and I totally lost my train of thought.
It was good to see Hutts and see that Nal Hutta is still... I mean, to see that Nal Hutta was not only referenced, but still in operation for the Hutts, even after Return of the Jedi. I thought that was a really neat detail.
Big fellas.
I thought those two Hutts, and I mentioned this on the Habit Chat, were conjoined twins because they were like yin-yanged, basically.
Yeah.
No, they just Alabamian Hutts.
Yeah.
The one was literally petting up on his sister's tail like this, bro. I was like...
And then the big boy said, this rat I use as a handkerchief.
That was so funny.
What was that?
Space rat!
I didn't think we were going to see Hutts. And when I heard the drums and I heard them, like there was like the big litter coming around. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Well,
The bending
I was
litter.
like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing huts right now. So that was dope. And
Mm.
then there was also a new character that everyone is like freaking out about too. There
Jacob's
is
pulling up the
a
name.
Wookiee bounty hunter. His name is, I can't pronounce his Wookiee name. It's like
Black
Black
Kirsten.
Kirstan or something. It's in the Discord. People
Yeah,
were
Black
talking about
Kirsten.
him.
He is
Black Kirsten.
Black Kirstan, whatever
So
his name
Black
is.
Christian is actually
He is featured in the Dr. Aphra comics, and as well as being a bounty hunter within the Star Wars universe.
Apparently
He's in the
he-
Vader comics too.
Yeah.
Apparently he's encountered Obi-Wan
Yes,
as well.
Yeah, he was going after Owen Lars, or no, yeah. Uncle Owen. And then he was like, who's this Obi fella? And bit him. So maybe we'll see that in Kenobi.
They did a really good job of
I thought it was Tarful.
hiding him in plain sight.
Mhm.
Because when I watched the episode the second time through, he's in all the shots. Like, he's just hiding in the back. And you can see his legs and everything. But they just did a really good job of, like, hiding him in plain sight. Because the first time I watched it, it took me completely by surprise
Yeah.
when they brought him around from the back of the litter. I also really liked just how you could see all the slaves just struggling to hold up the litter.
They kept switching arms and like
Just, like,
shifting.
bowing in the middle.
Tommy said, boy, I really liked watching those slaves.
Chill.
Capitalist pig.
Hey man. If you touch my hat again, I'm leaving the show. I'm quitting the show, everyone. I'm terminating my contract. There will now be a lawsuit against the 1313 podcast copyright. I will own the sole exclusive rights to this podcast.
Wow, that was funny.
Anyway.
I thought it was really interesting as well to see the fact that obviously the Hutts legally, quote unquote, own that territory, but Boba Fett's like, no, you're gonna have to kill me for it. And they're like, we'll deal with you
like
later.
bloodshed's bad for business. And then Black Carter said,
Dude, can you like not bump the table like every couple seconds?
oopsie doopsie. It's
My man terrible with bumping the table. Anyway,
I'll just back up.
But no. The Hutts were dope. I like that Boba was actually being very stubborn about the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was not backing down at all.
Exactly.
He did not
This
care
land
at
is
all.
my land. This land is my land.
Because it is. He owns it, bro. And then he's all like, y'all
He
really think you
usurped
can
it.
walk up in here with your litter, with your slaves carrying you and take it? He's like, nah.
I walk on my own 2 feet.
Dude, there's also some kind of backstory with I'm just gonna call him Black Christian from now on.
I don't think you should do that.
Like
I think we should avoid doing that.
Call him the bounty Wookiee or something at least.
Bounty Wookiee.
so my boy BK. No, but there was some sort of like backstory with him where Boba was like talking about how he killed a sleeping Trandoshan in the death pits of somewhere. And that kind of made my boy BK kind of mad. Made him a little upset. So there's definitely some kind of, I don't know if that was ever shown in a comic or if that's just kind of like his reputation precedes him.
Mhm.
And that definitely got
Wait,
to
are
him
you
a
saying
little
that BK killed the Trandoshan in the pit, or?
That's what he said. Apparently, like, he's known for, like, escaping these death pits.
Yeah, well, there's in a comic. There's a scene where I forget what. I think it's the Bounty Hunter comics where we see it's the ones that are based on like Boba, IG, Dengar, all those ones.
Mhm.
There is a Coliseum type fight, like a death pit, where he is fighting a Trandoshan,
Okay.
and that's like where he's seen in a comic. I believe he's fighting a Trandoshan. That's one of his sightings in the
Well,
comic.
Boba says he killed a sleeping guard, is what he says. And so I think that there's some kind of, like, one of those situations where they gain this, like, this reputation, and it's kind of a lie. And that's not the thing that actually happened. Like, poor Han Solo, where everyone said it was less than 11 parsecs or 13 parsecs. Or
The
whatever,
number
but-
changes.
12.
Yeah.
But then they don't clarify if parsec is a measure of speed or distance.
In Solo, a Star Wars story, they clarify that it's distance.
My bad. That is fair.
Know your Star Wars, man. Know your Star Wars.
You learn something every day.
Yeah. That was cool. But let's get into the thing that I actually want to talk about.
Tommy wants to talk about the Tusken Radars. I feel like we need to stop doing
We
that.
pick up right where we... No! We're teaching everyone Tusken.
Fine. Okay,
Be
on
able
today's
to speak
Tusken
fluently
lesson,
in Tusken.
today we learn kill.
News. It's that's the hand motion because Mando does it too when they're talking about the Krayt dragon.
How do we kill it? Anyway,
So I think that it's cool. We pick up right where we left off. Boba is now getting into being a part of the tribe because he helped that young one.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so he's being taught how to fight with a gaffy stick, and he's definitely still like a slave in most of the Tuskens' eyes, I would say. Like he does most of the legwork for like
Of lower status in their hierarchy.
yes,
yeah.
and so
He's a serf.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
a serf. But he's part of the community now. And so he's learning their culture, learning their ways.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting past this reputation of them that they're kind of like savages.
Uh-huh.
And then the train shows up. And we find the Pike Syndicate.
It was cool
is
actually
in
seeing
the train.
Something that I never thought that we would see again in Star Wars, to be completely honest.
I never thought we would see the Pikes, but none of them had the big fat caterpillar head. They all had like the little heads.
It's
Which
fine.
I was sad about because I wanted to see the big fat caterpillar heads.
I don't.
But they come up and the Tuskens are literally, what were they even doing? Like, what were
Just
they?
chilling
minding their
around.
own dang business.
Yeah, they were just like hanging out, shooting warts out of the sand, and then all of a sudden a bunch of them get capped.
Can we talk about how as big as a bantha is, they go down in one shot no matter where that shot is. They just
I know the one got shot top near the spine and just went
he said, bruh. Maybe
instantly. I was like, y'all fellas not made more sturdy?
They definitely did a good job of you could feel the pain of the Tuskens. You could see injured Tuskens, you could see dead Tuskens, and like you could see the survivors of that kind of battle, I guess you would say, mourning over the dead. And so you get to see kind of the death ritual of the Tuskens as well, where they kind of burn the bodies.
Like what Obi did to the Jawas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Return to
humanizing
dust. Return to dust.
return to the living force.
But yeah, it was kind of not moving. It was definitely impactful. I think that this episode has done a really good job in particular of giving more substance to the Tuskens, because we saw them in Mandalorian, that they could be reasoned with and they weren't just savages. But now in this show, we're seeing an in-depth culture of a specific tribe of Tuskens.
Mhm.
And then Boba sees the biker gang,
Yes.
which actually was the same group of like bikers from the first episode
Yeah.
when he's with the child and the Rhodian.
Mhm.
And those are the ones that leave that letter. I think someone said it's the Huttese letter K.
It's for their
someone said.
gang. It's basically
Yeah.
just a gang sign.
And
The
he basically is like, you know what? I'm gonna kill the I'm gonna destroy. I will stop the train and be back by morning.
I need a rifle and stick.
And then
They just gave it to him too.
Yeah. They said, "Aight, fella." There you
and
go.
then my man goes into Tashi Station, and actually the two people that were there are I would assume they're supposed to be some of Luke Skywalker's friends.
Yes, no, they're
They
the same
are.
actors that played Luke Skywalker's friends in Atashi Station.
I thought that was super
flashback.
cool.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a deleted scene, which
From episode 4.
again,
But I
you
was
learn
gonna go to
stuff.
Tachi Station to pick up some power converters.
You can mess around with your friends when your chores are done. I think I messed up that line.
No,
but
I
it's
think that
okay.
was right.
You know, whatever.
Good job.
I know
buddy.
freaking.
Thank you, buddy.
I saw in one of the clips as well for the Tashi Station deleted scene. It's Luke and they're all like looking up at the sky and they see the Tanith 4 and the Star Destroyer and they're like, but there's a lot of shooting going on. And they were like, the Empire would never come around here anyway, much less protect us. So
I like how all the biker gang were wearing like leather jackets and they had like their biker gang logo on the backs of
Yeah.
their jackets. That was really funny. But then, Boba Fett walks in and says, "Here's Johnny," and he absolutely obliterates the entire gang.
Yes. I like.
decimating the fellow with the rifle to where he breaks it.
Yeah. And he said,
That was pretty funny when he looks at it and he's like, "Oh," just like throws it to the side.
I broke it. Now all I have is this stick.
And then we get one of my favorite sequences in all of Star Wars. Boba Fett attempting to teach Tusken Raiders how to ride speeder bikes.
How to ride a bike.
Like a bantha.
That sequence had some of the best humor in all of Star Wars. I was wheezing. I'm not gonna lie.
It was really funny.
Like right away when they just start dismantling the speeders, he's like, "No, no, no!" and they just keep dismantling them. It like kind of took me back.
These
to,
are mine.
It kind of took me back to A New Hope. Like where they were dismantling
They
the
said,
land
"Ooh, the
speeder.
sand speeder."
And now it's not like, now I'm like, okay, maybe they weren't doing that because they just wanted to destroy it. They were just doing it because they don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's very well expressed that they just don't have technology. They don't know how to use machines to their advantage. So they just dismantle it. They don't know what else to do with it. And yeah, him teaching them how to use it, and the one Tusken that kept falling off,
That was really
Oh,
funny.
jumping from one bike to the
My
other.
favorite is when he sits down fully on the bike and then just tosses himself off. I'm like, dude, you were on the bike. What happened? Like, I don't know if it was just a misspliced clip or what, but it was hilarious.
It was
really freaking funny.
It was cool too, because you're seeing the Tuskens are very reluctant to learn this new skill. They're not fans of it, but they do it, and then they get ready to have an assault on the train.
Yep.
And that whole sequence was really cool too. I thought it was going to be very similar to
The one in Mando.
Yep, the one on Morak.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised that it was not.
Yeah.
You get
Shouts out to the train's conductor, my favorite character in that entire episode.
what's left of General Grievous.
I like how he just Boba goes, "How do I stop the train?" And he goes, "So you
Deuces, I'm out of here.
and what? And jumps out the window. That was so funny.
That was pretty good.
I was a big fan of that whole sequence. It was cool to see the Tuskens, because again, they're not used to fighting people with blasters. They're not used to fighting people with, a technological advantage over them. So
that has a stick.
they were getting clapped. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them were getting clapped.
The hooded Tusken, though, that's my favorite. Has to be 100%. That one is so cool. It's just completely whooping everybody you see.
Yeah.
The female one, or
Is it a female one?
With like the cloth.
Yeah, the one with the hood that teaches him how to use the gaffy stick.
It's not a hood.
it's like cloth hair kind of thing. It's a woman.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No, they're cool. They're cool.
I didn't
But
know that.
it was a
I
really
don't want to assume.
the whole sequence was
You
cool,
did.
and I found myself actually like getting upset when like a Tusken would die,
Mhm.
I did.
especially on top of the train.
No, I agree. Just because it was like, dang, these fellas really trying their hardest and they're getting blasted down.
Yeah.
Mike said, "Spice time."
But yeah, so they so now I didn't see how long the episode was before I watched it the first time, so I didn't know that it was going to be like 51 minutes or whatever it was,
It was a very nice length.
and
Yes.
it was not a bad thing that it was 51 minutes long.
No.
I
felt
was
like
really
20.
invested. So
Yeah.
after they stopped the train and like they find the water car and they tell the Pikes to leave, and I think that this is going to end badly later on in the season, where he basically said, you guys have to pay a toll to the Tuskens every time you use this land from now on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that the Pikes are going to come back twice as strong and decimate that entire tribe of Tuskens. It's unfortunate, but I think that's probably what we're going to see.
I know. I'll hate to see that for sure. But, I mean, the Tuskens do now have a bit of that technological advantage. They do have the blasters that the
They have
Pikes
the
were
speeder
using.
bikes. They have the
Speeder
spice.
The entire train.
Well, I think they got rid of the spice. I would assume.
Boba Fett was getting some of that spice for sure.
Oh yeah. This isn't a spice dream.
How do you think he knows what a spice dream is?
From that
Man,
spice.
From that spice.
We got to
That's
see the
spice.
mask off, finally, of what live-action Pikes look like, which
Yeah.
I thought was pretty
The
interesting.
cat-looking crayfish
Yeah, literally.
A
just-
shrimp on a human's body.
with the cat face.
as many aliens in Star Wars are, they are fish people.
Yep.
Which I guess maybe I could have picked up better from the Clone Wars because they do kind of have like the whiskers
Yeah.
a bit. But I guess I never really just realized it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how the one Pike was playing dumb, and then he's like,
Yeah.
what does spice look like?
And then they
They
spill
open
it.
up a can of spice
Yeah.
like that.
And he's like,
Bruh.
How'd that get there?
What? That's not mine. That's not ours.
But yeah, and then I thought the episode was going to end there. I really did. I thought
I
that was
agree.
going to be it. And then we get this whole sequence of
A spice dream.
Boba finally becoming a part of literally just being a member of the Tusken tribe.
Yeah. He does the ritual to find the wood for his gaffy stick by getting sent into a
For me.
hallucinogenic trance done by Spice and a lizard sitting on his brain playing Ratatouille.
Man got ratatouille, and that
lizard going. Pulling Boba Fett's neurons,
No,
making
it's
him pull a
dude,
branch.
it's plankton.
Like to controlling Mr. Krabs to get the secret formula.
That lizard's like, now you shall get this secret Krabby Patty from you.
bucket.
No.
But it was a cool sequence.
Yeah, and then the whole dream sequence. We watch a channel called Screen Crush that talks about some of the Easter eggs in some like episodes. We watch it mostly for Marvel because we don't pick up on those as much as we do the Star Wars.
He's also a lot more knowledgeable in Marvel than he is with Star Wars. There'll be stuff in Star Wars
that
gets
we'll pick
wrong.
up, and then like he won't. But it's like
he talked about the Tashi Station thing too. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but the one thing that he talked about was kind of like how that scene like represented father and son of like Jango was the big tree and Boba was the small tree, showing that kind of relationship.
Interesting.
Because it was also showing the flashbacks between Jango and Boba.
That's
throughout
true.
That. And you saw Boba in different stages of his life going through the same thing. Like when he was getting wrapped up by the tree, you see him in his armor getting wrapped up by the tree, then the Sarlacc, then him without his armor in the Sarlacc, then back to the tree.
This footage of Kamino was definitely new footage.
Yes.
100%.
There's no way that was unused footage from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And we've got to see more of it in
Yes,
the rest
I
of the
agree.
show. Like I don't know why ILM would go out of their way to make such a highly detailed render of Kamino like that and have us only see it for those few seconds.
Yeah. Give us
Another thing on
more.
the symbolism too, more so, is like the scene on Kamino where like Jango flies away and like Boba watches him, is how like he's not going to like ever obviously like see his father again, nor like achieve everything that he did, but
Learning
he can
to
only
let go.
Yeah, he has to let go, but then live up to his father's honor code that he had.
Back
But-
to things. We're leaving.
That whole sequence was neat. And then he brings back a stick and we get to see how the Tuskens make their gaffy sticks. And I didn't realize how much of a like sacred weapon it is for the Tuskens.
Yeah.
And
I
now
thought
I
it
see
was
why
neat.
Boba kept his.
Yeah. It's kind of a family heirloom type thing.
Yeah. And now we also know why Boba's undergarments of his armor is black now.
It's not Nomad Boba. It's Tusken Boba.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah.
because he wants to keep that part of his identity now is part of the Tusken people, and it's part of his fighting style now. It's part of his honor code now.
It's because he earned it. He went through a different path of learning how to honor something rather than just being, I'm a cold-blooded killer. Yeah, I'm Boba Fett.
And
Yeah.
this is going to be a huge overarching message of this show. I've seen a lot of people say that Boba Fett doesn't feel like Boba Fett in the original trilogy in the show. And my answer to that is, no, he doesn't, because he's not. This is not the same person that you know or you think you know from the original trilogy. And, you know, why does he take off his helmet so much? And why does he act so much differently? Why is he so patient with people where he wasn't before?
Okay, we know why he takes off his helmet. You've seen the interview with Tim Morrison from Moana?
True.
So they're not gonna see my face. See, that's the problem right there. This is the moneymaker.
That's probably why he was like, "Can I take my helmet off a little bit?" That was probably in his demands of the contract.
I noticed he's much more apt to take it off when he goes indoors.
Yeah.
If he's not sitting on the throne and he's not outside, most of the time he has his helmet off. And I think it's a sign of respect, because when he's like feeling confrontational, like when he goes to see the mayor, he does not take the helmet off.
Yeah.
When he's talking to the Hutts, he does not take the helmet off.
Helmet stays on.
Yeah, it's very much helmet stays on.
Exactly.
It's very much like, I think it's more of a respect thing.
Yeah.
He's more apt to take his helmet off when he respects somebody.
See, that's the big point of the show as well, is the point that we consistently hit is that it is the maturity of a character who we see in the OT who doesn't really do anything, but then we establish a knowledge in a lot of uncanon material,
Yes.
unfortunately, at the moment, that is that Boba Fett is a ruthless, cold-blooded killer. He'll do anything for money. He's super awesome. He's like the Deadpool of Star Wars in a way. But what we're trying to see is that Boba Fett is now trying to distance himself from that past to become a better person, essentially, because he sees how the people of Tatooine are obviously living under garbage conditions under the rule of the Hutts, and he's like, well, I know I can do this better than what they can, and the people here can thrive, and I can make good business out of it too while I'm at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's really kind of the main thing that I wanted to hit with that.
Yeah. I feel like we also see that build up through the biker gang attacking civilians and the Tashi station, because he understands like what the crap people are going through on Tatooine, and he wants to be the better of it. It's not ruling with fear, he's ruling with respect. He's not being a power monger, just going around showing his power. he wants to earn the respect of others by the actions of protecting people.
This is also a character who has had everything that was associated with him stripped away in episode 1. His ship, no longer accessible when he gets taken out of the Sarlacc pit. His armor, no longer accessible to him. He has none of his gear. He has none of the stuff that he relied on. He's literally and figuratively been stripped of everything that he's known to be familiar.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that was familiar to him had to do with his father. He flies his father's ship. His armor is his father's. And his whole life is...
He is his father.
Being a bounty hunter...
He is a clone of his father.
Being a bounty hunter, he's living not in his father's shadow, but he's trying to be like his father.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he doesn't know how to be his own person. And through being with the Tuskens, he has now figured out how to be his own person.
Exactly. No, I feel
I
like that's a
wonder-
good point.
I wonder if we're going to see in the flashbacks, 1, how he gets Slave 1 back, and 2, if we see him find Fennec.
Because that's a shot in the trailers that we have yet to see is when they walk into the hangar and see Slave 1.
Yeah, so we're going to
That's true.
find out how they get it back
I
eventually.
mean, it would make sense that Slave 1 was at Jabba's palace because Boba was there, and then they leave Jabba's palace.
Maybe.
I'm getting the timelines confused because I remember that Slave One is also at Maz's castle.
Yeah.
In The Force Awakens.
That's
So then that leads a
That's-
different
yeah.
question as well. Are we going to see Boba Fett die at the end of his story?
I don't think so. Not this story.
Maybe not.
Maybe
But
the book will
He
end with him
has
dying.
to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a longer lifespan because he is a clone. So he very well can live to the Rise of Skywalker, like how Rex almost did.
Yeah. But I think that there's a lot of things with this show that I think a lot of fans are expecting the Boba Fett that they think they know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Boba Fett that this is a character that literally everything everybody knows about him.
We're here to tell you that you need to subvert your expectations because
It's
you're
not even
setting
about
the
that,
bar
because-
too high.
No, this is because this Boba Fett is not the Boba Fett of the original trilogy who would shoot first, ask questions later.
Yes.
Mhm.
Who would do disintegrations all the time. He was ruthless. This is not that same character. This is not that same man. This is a new person entirely.
Yes.
Mhm.
And if you have a problem with that, cry.
It's not even like if you have a problem with it. I think that they're just, and again, it's everything Star Wars. And I think Jacob said it perfectly. We were at work together today, and he said, I think that everyone is expecting these astronomical things from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and when people's expectations aren't going to be met,
Yeah.
they're going to be upset.
I have no expectations for these shows. I think like, oh, it'd be cool if this happened. Like for Kenobi, I'm like, it would be cool if we saw a live action clone trooper in a flashback or something like that once.
Or if we even saw Cody. But
Yes.
that's a hope.
That's not like, if it's not in it, it's the worst show I've ever seen. It's like, oh, I would like that to be in it. But when it's not in it, I'm not gonna throw a fit on Twitter and be like, everything that Disney touches is ruined. Because you want to know why? Maybe you had a problem with the last 3 episodes of the Skywalker saga, and I could see why you might have a problem with it. But these shows that are coming out are phenomenal. They're amazing, and they're great pieces of Star Wars, and people are just throwing a fit about it because it's cool to dislike something now. You're more likely to get a like on Twitter if you're bashing something rather than you're praising something. Because nobody wants to sit there and be like, oh, he enjoyed it. That's cool. People want to hear a negative opinion. People want to hear, like, anger come out of somebody because it's entertaining in a way. It's funny in a way.
Believe it or not, it's more mature to express your opinion in a way that you can actually have civil discourse with people
Yeah.
than it is to just scream and shout about your opinion.
Yeah, if you scream and shout about it, we do not care. You just sound like an absolute buffoon.
You sound like a child.
It's like
You actually just sound like a child.
yeah.
And I'm not here to sit here and be like, oh, you can't not like the Book of Boba Fett. You can't because do I think it's the best thing Star Wars has ever made? No. But I'm just enjoying it. I'm here, I'm experiencing it for what it is and what it's coming out as, and I'm not expecting anything. I'm not
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not putting things in my head about this is what's going to happen in the show.
Yeah.
This is what needs to happen in the show. I trust the writing team. I trust the director.
Yeah.
And they've already done such a great job on these first 2 episodes. I just am excited to see what is in store. And again, we in our Have a Chat with Fig Fury, I said, I've never been so excited for the next episode of a show.
Mhm.
And I think with this show, it's because I have absolutely no idea what's coming next.
Exactly.
Here's something that y'all need to do. If you find yourself getting disappointed by a Star Wars show when it comes out, so say Book of Boba, you're not too happy with it. How about try this? When Andor comes out, because Andor is the next thing to come out Star Wars related.
No, Kenobi.
I
is.
think
Kenobi?
it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's
Okay.
Kenobi.
So for Kenobi, go into it with nothing. Go into it blind, no expectations. Don't hope for anything. Don't wish for anything. Go into it just knowing that you will see Obi-Wan and that's it. Trust me, you will find the show more enjoyable that way. Because that way you're not sitting there going, so when is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Why isn't this happening? You sit there and then you just enjoy the story as it happens. You're not sitting there waiting for your miracle to fall out of the sky into your lap. Because half the time it doesn't happen. It just doesn't.
This has been
Unless you're
theme.
me and it's the Spider-Man movie. I called something from a mile away and it was my dream. So
I think that with these shows, there's a reason that the episodes are called chapters.
Mhm.
When you read a book, I don't know about anybody else, but when I read a book, I don't have expectations for how the book will end when I'm at the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
You are experiencing the book with the characters as it happens. And it's already written. It's not like the book is going to change, you know? And I think that's the reason they're doing this with this show, with all these shows now, because it's a chapter book.
Yep.
You're experiencing it with the character. Stop experiencing it from how you wish it was or how you would have written it. Just experience the art, because that's what it is. It's art at the end of the day.
Yep.
And I actually do get upset because I really want people to enjoy the show as much as I do. And then when people say that they didn't enjoy the show, I get upset. Not because I'm mad that they didn't enjoy the show. I'm upset because I wish that they could enjoy the show as much as I do. But I have to realize that
some people are just big whiny babies and want to be coddled. I want to be held. I want mommy. Y'all fellas be fiending for Star Wars in the wrong ways.
But I was so happy with this episode. It was so good. Like I would have given the first episode like a 7 out of 10. But I give this one a 9 out of 10 because it's just so good. Like I've already watched it twice. I plan on watching it a bunch more.
Mhm.
And I hope that you all are as excited as we are for these episodes to keep coming out.
Yep.
And more shows and more movies. Give me more Star Wars.
Yes, please.
Now that we're done with the Book of Mid,
Now that we're done
Talking about the Book of Trash.
with the Book of Mediocre.
Bring home the bounty.
exclusive.
Wow, bonus
stuff.
bounties. Wow.
That will be running till basically the end of Book of Boba.
Wow, how exciting.
Wait, actually?
Yep.
Yes, it's going
I
to
thought
be
it-
every week until the Book of Boba ends now.
Oh, well, that's cool. I thought it was just going to be one day.
But then wait, what if we get this for every show? Not like a Bring Home the Bounty, but just like a special thing.
Well, they did Mando Mondays, and they saw how successful it was. I think that they're going to keep doing this formula.
Kenobi Tuesdays.
No.
Right. Right.
It'll be October.
No, I think that'll
Right.
be definitely cool. No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm kind of like
Lando
not
Wednesday.
burned out. I'm just kind of like over these weekly drops of products
I'm
every
not.
single week.
I think they're cool.
No,
I
it's,
also
I mean,
think they're
yeah.
cool.
I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm
Yeah,
saying
you
that
are.
I'm burned out of them right
Now
now.
you're saying that they're not cool.
I'm not entertained by them like I used to be
Why not?
But
because they're mid.
we did get
Just
something
kidding. Middle of the
entertaining
week.
this week.
We did, and
We got-
actually, we have this product early because we're Hasbro shills. And
Yeah. Thanks, Hasbro, for sending us
thanks,
the Proto
Hasbro,
Boba.
for the free product.
This will be on the screen so you can see it better. But we have the Proto Boba Fett, the original one. That's the one that we have.
Yeah, we
in
don't
our
actually have the
collection
one
here.
from Hasbro. No.
I
Yeah.
ended up pre-ordering it, well, the newer version for my personal collection, but I still think it's a good figure. See, obviously, yes, it is on the old Boba Fett body. and
Which I
it
think is better. Ooh, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this opinion.
Does the
What?
rangefinder go down?
No.
Oh, well then the new one is better.
No.
I think the new Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi body is better, but here's why I'm not complaining. Because we get I think the Proto Boba is really cool. This is a
figure that Jacob and I had when we were little, because when you had the Star Wars The Clone Wars figures, you had like a ticket in like each box. And if you collected so many, you could mail it into Hasbro and then they would send you a TVC Proto Boba, which I don't know where it is in the room, actually. I think it might be in a different area specifically. But we were super excited to get that because it's a different variant of Boba Fett, and it was super cool. And for those who may not know, it is based off the original concept about how George Lucas wanted the Empire's army to evolve. He wanted it to be...
Super Troopers!
Yeah, an army of Super Troopers,
And
but then they
only
realized...
had money for one suit.
Yeah, it was too expensive. So then they said, we'll just make it one person, which...
And then they painted him
worked
green.
perfectly.
Yeah. I think it's an awesome figure. And I don't mind that it's on the old body because it's not bad. I like the helmet on the old body more than I like the new one. I don't like that squishy material that's molded around just a fake head underneath, because then the helmet looks like it wraps around the bottom of his jaw. And the original Boba Fett helmet's supposed to be thick and wide and chunky. So I like this one a lot more than the new Boba Fett body. So I'm happy that they're re-releasing it. Shout out to that one guy on TikTok that made the This Week in Black series. They made a Boba Fett figure again. Lazy repaint. If I hear lazy repaint one more time, I'm gonna stop my sentence there because
I guess the Boba Tython figure and the Fennec Shan are lazy repaints, and the whole rest of the new wave is just a lazy repaint.
I'm just at a point with like so many things in life, like not even just related to Star Wars, where when people start talking about it, I just mentally check out, and I'm not paying any attention anymore because
Careful with the bending.
it's so redundant, and I've heard it so many times, and I just don't care.
Ooh, Jacob posed him cool.
If we disagree with our opinions and you want to be inflammatory about it, then we're not going to have a conversation.
Yep. Take the L.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But
It's an Amazon exclusive, so you could still get it, and it comes out at the end of this year in December.
Wow.
Unfortunately, because I clicked the pre-order and it said this will start shipping in December, and I went, oh. But at least we know with Amazon, it's going to ship on time.
Not in December.
Sad trombone.
Yep.
dang, sad trombone. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I didn't buy it, but I'll probably buy it later on.
Yeah. And that's fine.
For
You still have
double the price.
plenty of time
Yeah.
to get it.
For triple the price.
Because again,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
one of those
shit.
figures that if you want to get on the aftermarket, it's already so expensive. So it's perfect for the new collectors who are already trying to get the Galaxy package and such.
Yeah,
Because
plus
that was
the box
in
looks
the
really cool. That contrast
orange.
of blue and
I
blue
thought it
and
was
white
interesting
looks
that
really nice.
they went with the Empire Strikes Back Galaxy package
I don't.
for this figure.
Why?
'cause that's the movie he was supposed to
He
be the
appears
Super
first
Trooper
in that movie.
Well, I understand
No,
that.
he appears in A New Hope first with Jabba.
in the special edition.
Oh wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yes. I thought you were being sarcastic.
No,
Nah,
dang,
this
I'm
man
sorry
actually
about
just stupid.
Yeah, that's all I got for that.
Yeah.
Bonus bounties, it'll probably be cool. I'm sure there'll be some cool stuff.
Weekly pickup time.
No,
'Cause what if
Black
for the-
Series time.
No,
then-
what else?
Talking about
What else came out in the Black Series, Tom?
I'll tell you what else happened in the Black Series.
What else happened in
So
the Black
with
Series?
very silently doing so, Hasbro put the rest of this new Black Series wave on Hasbro Pulse, the one with
Wave
the Boba
31.
Fett. Yes. And the Boba
and
Fett
Fennec Shad.
and Fennec immediately sold out. Man, get up. But I think this is extremely unfortunate that they never made an official announcement for this wave, nor ever talked to us about it at all. I feel like on the live stream as well, the next one that they eventually decide to do,
No mention.
they
it.
will never mention it because they mentioned the Target Clone Wars figures months after the whole thing came out with it. They never talked about it beforehand or even posted about it.
Uh-huh.
I
Instantaneous L.
Yes.
they did email about it actually. They sent an email out saying
Wow.
Wave 31 was on the site.
Wow, they emailed.
But
And
that's
Tython Boba
lazy.
and Fennec Shand sold out instantly, as they usually do with Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
But yeah, anyways.
Now can I talk about my Legos?
Yeah.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Talk about your-
Jacob Lego section.
Wait, didn't you have Lego news to talk about?
I'll talk about the
There is
Lego,
Lego
news.
news too.
So, Lego news, the Ahsoka brickheads and the build-up accessory packs for Star Wars were supposed to come out in the beginning of this month, and then they didn't, and now we have no idea when they come out. They're still on the Lego website. They're not sold out. They're just not available. So, Lego, I say this every time, do better. Let us know when it actually comes out, because it was supposed to come out at the beginning of this month and it didn't. And I want that Ahsoka Breakheads, please, and thank you. Anyway, I got this set at the end of last year, and I just got done building it. It is the Resistance Transport from Galaxy's Edge. It's a Galaxy's Edge set. It's based off the Black Spire books, and it comes with the main character V, and then a couple other minifigures like an astromech, a Admiral Akbar species guy, I can't remember the name of it. Mon Calamari, and a Gonk droid. So yeah, solid build, very nice weight and size. I like how it looks. It's got stud shooters on the side like every other set in the world now. So yeah, solid set. This set actually got discontinued at the end of last year, so you will no longer be able to find it in stores. It is now going to go up in price exponentially because Lego appreciates more than gold, and that is a fact. And that is all from me.
And that is pretty much all we have for the podcast.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 1313 podcast. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be streamed. Be sure to find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and give us a follow. We appreciate your patronage, and we also recommend you join the Discord, the best Star Wars Discord on the internet, where we have nice conversations, fun times, and you can speak to people
speak freely
about Star Wars. Yeah. We thank you so much for watching this episode of the 1313 podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Tommy.
And we will see you all in the next episode. Bye!
I'm Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
Tommy, do you keep that in?
Sometimes I do.
That's funny.